Hi everyone. So this is going to be part 3 of my coming out series. I wanted to make this video before college since some things happened in the past month, mostly good things, that I wanted to talk about. So just to kind of recap my first 2 videos. So I just graduated high school and I came out in my yearbook quote. And I also did a presentation on how I could relate what I learned in psychology class to sexuality. And so today I'm talking about pretty much the past month. So I uploaded my first coming out video on July 17th, and the reaction I got was just amazing. Lots of people texted and reached out. I got 3 emails too. So it was just really cool to hear all the positive feedback, and I didn't get a single negative reaction from it, which was really amazing. And a couple days after, so I went to a small graduation party. So my friend Sam, I've known him since elementary school, and he had like a small party at his house, and he invited me and 3 other guy friends over. And I wasn't that close with any of them. Not that I was enemies with them or anything like that. I just hadn't talked to them for a few years, since Sam kind of has a different friend group than me. And so I was a little nervous at that party, since I wasn't sure if those guys had seen my quote yet. And I didn't really know how to bring up the topic of sexuality, since if they hadn't seen my quote yet, then that would have been pretty awkward. But I brought my yearbook so they could sign it. So for the first couple hours of the party, I just didn't talk about sexuality at all. But what was nice is they really just treated me like one of them. We hung out, we played volleyball, we went swimming, and they just really treated me just like one of them. And so I didn't really want to lose that, so I was reluctant to bring up the topic of sexuality. But I really wanted to show them my quote, and so I showed it to them. And it turns out none of them had seen it yet. And they were a little surprised, because of course it's not every day that someone comes out in their yearbook quote. But just like 5 seconds later, we just continued hanging out, and they didn't seem to care at all. And so it was just really, really cool of them to act that way. And it just shows that I can be like just one of the guys. And that was really nice for me, since one of my female friends, even before I had come out, since most of my friends were female, and there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but she would say that I was just like one of the girls, as if she was saying I wasn't like masculine enough to hang out with the other guys. But I think I've proven to her that I can just fit in right with the other guys. So I was really happy after I left that party. And then something happened that gave me a lot of anxiety. So I got a new phone, and I had to sign into my dad's old iCloud account to get my photos back since we had shared an account before. And some glitch happened that caused all our contacts to merge. So I was really nervous that our photos merged too, because I had taken so many screenshots of the reactions that people had sent me for my coming out video, since, I wanted to save all the positive reactions. And I wasn't with my dad since he was at his girlfriend's, and I was at my grandma's house, so I was nervous. I was really nervous that he would see the pictures and that I would be outed. And thankfully, our pictures did not merge, only our contacts merged, so I had to delete all my contacts one by one from his phone, which was annoying, but yeah, I'm glad that I wasn't outed then. And it's not that I don't think my parents will be accepting. I mean, I have a few LGBTQ plus friends, and my parents are fine with them. But it's just hard kind of being the only child in my family. I've got my 2 stepsisters, but I'm the only child of my mom and dad. So that's why I'm a little reluctant to tell them about the fact that I'm not straight. And I'm just kind of waiting for the right time. But I really am optimistic that they're going to be okay with it. And plus, I think they're proud of me for my academic and musical accomplishments. So I'm not too worried. And so, moving on to a different topic. So I had been debating about texting the guy that I had liked my coming out video, since he would find out from watching the video that I had liked him. And so I just really didn't know what to do, because part of me wanted to kind of provide a sense of closure with my feelings for him. But another part of me did not want to make him uncomfortable, since he didn't deserve that. And so I asked one of his friends what to do. And his friend actually offered to send him the video for me. And so I thought, you know what? I may as well take advantage of the opportunity. And I'm so glad that I did. So the guy that I liked texted me back saying that what I had done was really brave and that being gay is not easy, and he has a lot of respect for me. And so I was really appreciative of that. And I told him that I wasn't sure if he'd noticed, but that I had talked about our texts in the video and that I hoped it didn't make him uncomfortable. But he said that it didn't make him uncomfortable and that I could actually reach out to him if I ever needed to. He said he's just a text or call away. And that was just amazing. I mean, I wouldn't have even been mad if he said that he didn't want to speak to me ever again after what I revealed, but the fact that he was not only okay with me liking him, but that he offered me to reach out if I needed to, just shows what a kind-hearted person he is. And I'm just incredibly thankful that he reacted that way. So that experience made me a little more comfortable with my sexuality. And I also hung out with a couple of friends this summer that made me a little more comfortable talking about sexuality. I hung out with my friend Anya, who I mentioned in my first video. She and I went on a nice walk and we were able to talk about sexuality pretty openly. And I also went mini golfing with my friend Chris. He was the first guy that I came out to when I talked about him in my first video. And that especially was really cool to be able to talk about sexuality open with him. Since I think I speak for a lot of other non-straight people when we say that we want our straight friends, especially our straight friends of the same gender, to just treat us just like regular people. And so Chris really is a role model in that regard. It's just the subtle things that he does, like call me man or give me a fist bump, that made me feel really accepted and like a normal person. So that makes me really happy. And a couple other cool things happened this summer. So I found out that my great aunt's cousin is not straight. So that's the first family member that I know of. So that was really cool. And I also found out that my academic advisor at the college that I'm going to is not straight. So that's going to be super helpful as we navigate the next 4 years together. And I've also come out to a few students at my college too. Specifically, I formed this friendship with a fellow first year student in my college. Her name is Caitlin. And I think I'm going to become a good friends with her. And she's been really supportive so far. And over the summer, I also watched an Apple documentary series on the history of LGBTQ plus representation on television over time. It was a 5-part series. It was about 5 hours in total, and it was really interesting to see how LGBTQ plus characters have evolved over time. Like, for example, they talked about how back when transgender people were first portrayed on television, they pretty much had 2 roles. They were either killed off on the show, or they were perpetrators of some crime, like they were evil. And so that's one aspect of how LGBTQ plus representation has definitely improved a lot, even in the past 30 years. And they also featured topics like Ellen DeGeneres coming out, and that was in, I think, the late 1990s, so that was pretty revolutionary. And then also people like Adam Lambert on American Idol. So that was really interesting to learn about. So yeah, overall, this summer has gone quite well regarding my coming out journey. But there is one minor incident that I do want to talk about that actually happened yesterday. It wasn't really bad or anything like that. It's just something I want to address. So I have the text on my phone that I'll be referencing. So I had sent one of my female friends, someone I haven't talked about yet in my coming out journey, my coming out video, a couple weeks ago. And she just responded now. And she says, "Hi, Tanner. You do know you can call yourself queer/questioning for now. I noticed you were saying not straight in your channel description in reference to my YouTube channel." And she said, "Do you still want me to watch your coming out video?" So that wasn't really bad or anything like that. I do think she was a bit forceful when she said, "You do know you can call yourself queer/questioning for now." But she didn't say anything bad. And so I said, "Sure," and that I still wanted her to watch the coming out video. And then she says, "Is she going to say queer/questioning for now?" And I guess she kind of misinterpreted my response. And so I said, "Yeah, I guess that's the most fitting, since I'm just labeling my sexuality as non-straight for now. So I guess technically I would be the Q in LGBTQ+. But then she says, "I thought you would have done your research better on the meaning of LGBTQIA+. So first of all, she forgot the G in LGBTQ+, which was pretty ironic. And second of all, it's really not her place to tell me whether I've done my research. I mean, trust me, I've done a lot of research on LGBTQ+ issues because I lived it. And I'm not an expert or anything like that, but from what I know, my female friend that I just talked about, she is straight. So it's really not her place to kind of tell me what I don't know and to kind of assume my identity. And I want to make an analogy with that incident to college. So in college, we don't declare our major, at least at my college, until the end of our sophomore year. But we go into college having a pretty good idea of what we want to major in. So like I have a pretty good idea right now that I'm probably going to major in biology. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to wait to declare it. And people go into college with all different ideas of what they want to do. Some people are absolutely 100% certain they want to major in biology. Some people want a double major. Some people go in undecided. And so that kind of relates to sexuality, in that we don't necessarily have to declare our sexuality right now. We can take our time to label it. And I mean, I'm only 17, so I'm pretty young. And so I think there's a lot of pressure on people, not as much nowadays, but especially in the past, to label sexuality while they're young. But I think it's okay to really take our time and make sure that we're 100% comfortable with ourselves before we label it. So that's pretty much my teaching moment for today. And I'll hopefully make a part 4 in college, and I'm going to continue to make more piano covers. I've done some to honor my friends who have helped me. Like I made covers of a You Say by Lauren Daigle to honor my friends Claire and Ellie. And yeah, I have gotten so much support that I'm just very thankful for. Just too many people to name. And I think that wraps up this part 3. Thank you all so much for watching.